How you doing? I'm Kevin O'Hara for alcoholmastery.com. Today I wanted to talk about an old Chinese proverb which goes like, a person who's saying it cannot be done shouldn't be interrupting and interfering with the person who is doing it. Now, I'm talking about this in terms of a lot of people out there who, you could call them haters, right? You could call them, they're just people who don't want to see you doing well because they're not doing so hot themselves, And you often look at people like this and think, well, why are they doing this? Why are they interfering? Why can't they just sort of be happy about what I'm doing for myself, or just mind their own fucking business, and leave me alone? Why are they interfering with what I'm doing? How do you deal with somebody like that? How do you deal with somebody who doesn't want you to quit? Who doesn't want to see you advance in your life, right? Who doesn't want to see you flourish in your life? Who doesn't want to see you get on, make something of your life, make money, or make yourself more educated, or get yourself a better house or a better car, or whatever it is that you're achieving in your life. There are going to be certain people who will look at you and they don't like the fact that you're doing this kind of thing in your life. One of the things that I'd suggest to you to try and avoid this is to rely on people for advice and for company, even people who have already been there, already done that, regardless of, I'm not just talking about quitting drinking, right? Although that's a big thing. Is, listen to people who've quit, right, and who've quit for a long time. Don't listen to somebody who's quit for a week, right, or who's done multiple quits and just cannot quit. Don't listen to those type of people who are sort of telling you that you're always going to be an alcoholic, right? People telling you that no matter how many days you spend away from alcohol, you're always one drink away from going back. That kind of stupid philosophy. There's other philosophies that people will say, well, there's nothing wrong with a drink, right? There's nothing wrong with enjoying yourself. There's nothing wrong with having a drink to relax, or having a drink to have fun. That's all somebody else's limited beliefs, and they're forcing those limited beliefs on you, because when you're using alcohol, when you're using any toxin in this way, right, you are limiting your life, you're limiting your own perspective, you're limiting your own thoughts, you're limiting your own abilities, your own prospects. These things don't just happen, that you advance in life and you do well in life. These things are the product of hard work. They're the product of good thinking, the right mindsets. And I'm not saying that, that everyone who's successful has never drank alcohol, right? But what I will say is that the amount of people who are successful, they can ruin it very quickly through alcohol or through taking drugs. And we've seen that time and time again. We see that with rock stars and film stars and, people who are in the public light more than anything else. But it's across the board, with people who get wealth, I think people who have to go the hard route, and day after day after day they're putting in the hours and putting in the time, putting in the effort and the money and to make themselves successful. I think they will find it a lot more difficult to have an alcohol problem, because they understand that the next day they've got to get up and they've got to do it all over again, right? And a lot of these people, they love what they're doing. So if you like what you're doing, if you like your life and you're enjoying your life as it is, why would you spend any time out of your face why would you spend any time at all getting out of your face? It just doesn't make sense to me, It doesn't make any sense to me at all. That's one of the things that I've seen now in my life since I've stopped drinking. What I've got in my life, I want to show you around this place. Look, I just show you some of the things that, this is just a thing, right? And I've sort of thought about this a few times, whether or not to show you around and where I live now. And I don't want to show you around for anything else. I'm not trying to boast or anything like that. I'm not trying to say, well, show off. I'm not that type of a person. we've got this house now because I've worked really hard over the last 5 years, and like I said, I've saved maybe 60 grand, 60,000 over 5 years, easy, with just the amount that I was spending on alcohol. And that's not talking about the amount of money that I've saved or that I've earned because of the opportunity cost, right? You know, you're talking about a financial cost to a person, right, when they put their hand in the pocket and they shell out the money for the drink, or they shell out the money for the fast food because they can't be bothered cooking, right? And then you've got the consequences of all that, right? But you know, that's easily 12 grand a year I was spending on just rubbish, 250 quid a week, easy, just on rubbish because I was drinking, right? You know, maybe a bit less over here in Spain for that final year that I was drinking, but definitely over in Ireland. I mean, when you're talking about €5 a pint, and I go out and drink on a soft session, I drink 10 pints, you know, so you're talking about €50 there, plus a meal out, plus, you know, other accoutrements and a taxi home. You're talking about 75, 80 euros in just one night. You do that 5 nights a week, right? That's a lot of money. So we worked it out one day that it was easily €1,000 I was putting across the counter. So that's in euros. When you bring that up to dollars, about $60,000 I've saved in the last 6 years. So anyway, look, I'll show you around. This is where I live now. This is actually, I'll just pick this up because that's my microphone. This is the first time I've had a bar. This is our bar in the house, and we've just got it retiled, as you can see there. Oh, and there's something here which is a bit flooded. We've just had it retiled, and it's the first time there's not going to be any alcohol in here. There probably will be alcohol in here, but like I say, as it stands now, the only thing that's going to be in here in my case is going to be water. This is the garden. We've quite a big garden, so I'll have a walk around the garden and just talk about it here. There's a lot of orange trees, and we've just had the orange trees done. That's the back of the house, and this is our garden. This is a part of it here. Some really nice palm trees there. That's a swimming pool. The old Barbie, which I got last year, and I managed to do a lot of vegetarian cooking on that, believe me. There's water coming out of that, so I'm just going to turn this tap off there. We've got a little bit of a leak since it's one of the hose pipes that's leaking. Oh, like I say, I'm not trying to show off with this kind of stuff. I just want to say that this is, you know, a lot of the. This is just the fact that I've stopped drinking, and everything that entails. You know, not only am I saving all that money that I used to spend on alcohol, and I'm not spending it on anything else. You know, we've got a better house now. I've got a better car. You know, when I was drinking, I had to sell my car. I couldn't afford to keep it over here. I had a Land Rover back in Ireland, and I couldn't afford to keep it. I was going around in a moped for ages. You know what I mean? That's shut up. That's Rocco. I've already introduced you to Rocco. He's a big softie. Say hello, Rocco. Hello. Yeah, where was I? So it's all to do with different thinking. You know, more time. Every time you spend drinking alcohol, you're spending less time thinking about other things, right? And the amount of fog that alcohol puts over your mind is just unbelievable, you know. It's that swimming pool, really nice. Just starting to get warm enough for me. Esther's been getting in it for the last few weeks, and since it was about 22 degrees, it's about 26 at the moment, so that's about when I'm getting into it. Look, so that's our place. I'll show you my office. Is like a converted garage. But as I was saying, you know, just a lot of the stuff that I've been doing in this 5 years has been a product of just that one cornerstone habit. When you quit the one thing, right? When you get rid of the one habit in your life, such a big habit, it means that you've got more time to do other things. You've got more thinking capacity to do other things. You start to think about other things in a much better way. This is my office now. We've gone into it's a bit of a mess. I'll introduce you to the people I'm working with. That's no, I'm only kidding. There's nobody. It's just me. So this is my computer screens, my monitor. That's where I do my work. So where I talk to people when I'm doing the coaching or anything like that. I've got cardboard up in the windows there, and the plastic bag, because I'm too tight to buy a blind. I think I will do eventually. We've got all soundproofing on the walls, just so that it sounds a bit better in here when I'm doing any recording and stuff. My light's over there. That's the back of the garage door. That's Rocco's bed and my exercise bike. And yeah, that's my office. Like I say, that one cornerstone habit is responsible for changing everything. And you know, that everything in financial terms is 60 grand, right? In the last 5 years, at least. You know, when you're talking about the opportunity cost of drinking, I've talked about this so many times, that when you drink, not only is it costing you the money that you were spending on alcohol, right? It's also costing you in the time that you could be doing other things. It's costing you in the thinking that you could be doing. You could be using for other things in life, you know. So, you know, going back to what I was started out with people that are hating on you, you know, for the things that you're doing and how you're doing well in life. You know, some of these people are well-intentioned, you know. You know, some of these people do it out of fear because, you know, they might fear that you're doing something which you might regret, or that's going to hurt you or hurt other people. A lot of the time, I'd say 60-70% of the time, these people are doing it because they fear that when you do something and you're successful at doing something, that you open up a window to their own faults, you know, to their own negativity and the things that they want to see in their lives but they can't do in their lives. But everyone can do this, you know. Nobody has to drink alcohol. You know, when I see people now, when I go down to the pub to watch the Arsenal matches, the last one's now tomorrow, so you're probably going to be watching this in a while. I don't know when you're going to be seeing this, but the last match is tomorrow. We're playing Chelsea in the FA Cup final. But when I go down and I see people in the pub, and you see the same people over and over again, you know, and you see over the 5 years that I've been here, I've seen 3 or 4 people dying. Now, you know, I live in an area where people come to retire, so you can expect that. But you see people who suffer because of their lifestyle. You see people who are suffering because they're at the end stages of that lifestyle. So it's a big eye-opener, you know. And I think it was one of the reasons that, you know, apart from anything else, you know, I've already talked about my son and my health and, you know, how much it was costing me financially to drink. But, you know, when we first came over here and you see the amount of people, I remember seeing this woman, coming into the bar, the Breeze Bar, actually, where we go to watch the match. And she was in this wheelchair, and she was absolutely huge, obese, and she was in like a huge double wheelchair, with a motor in it. And there was like I don't know if it was a pacemaker, or there was something underneath her chest that was beating, underneath her shirt, that was beating away. And she ordered the biggest plate of greasy food that you've ever seen, and she was making no attempt to change her own life. It was all, she was probably surviving because of medications and because of, doctors that were trying to help her to survive. But eventually that's not going to work anymore, and, that's it, life over. But it's not only just that, life over, it's the quality of the life that suffers. Who would want to live their life like that? I mean, and nobody starts out to deliberately live their lives like that. But there is a time when you can see what's happening to you, right? Regardless of whether you're obese and you're killing yourself through food, or you're doing it through alcohol, or you're doing it through some other drink, some other drug. There must be a time when you say to yourself that this is enough, this is scary, I have to think about where I'm heading, where this journey is taking me. And I have to start saying to myself, I've got to change now. I've got to change now, because if I don't change now, that's the person I'm going to be. And that's part of the reason, I think, why I quit, was because I saw all this stuff around me. You see people, and how unhealthy people look when they live that kind of a lifestyle. And I loved living that lifestyle. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's an easy lifestyle to live, because you're always living in instant gratification. There is no price to pay, apart from the monetary price to pay, and then you get up and you've got the hangover and blah. Right? But when you start to visualize yourself further down the road, when you start to look at how your life is going, the trajectory that you're taking, and where that trajectory is going to take you in 2 years' time, or 3 years' time, 10 years' time, if you're around in 10 years' time, that's scary. That's when you really have to start thinking about, what am I doing to myself? How can I change? That's when you really have to make the decision. You have to take the commitment, make the commitment to do it, and you have to persist in the commitment. Much of the time when I'm talking about haters, you're talking about people that shouldn't be in your life, Get rid of them. If somebody is a negative influence in your life, I'm not talking about somebody who's giving you a bit of a negativity every so often, a bit of a drama queen or whatever, but in general they're a positive influence, right? I'm talking about negative influences in your life, right? People who are persistently negative, persistently trying to put you down, or put what you're doing down, trying to find fault with what you're doing. Get rid of those people. You don't need them. You should be surrounding yourself with positive energy, with positive vibes, for want of a better word, right? These people are only going to drain your energy. They're going to drain whatever positivity you have in life. Forget about these people. Get rid of them, right? Focus on positivity, on the positive people that you can bring into your life, because positive people will bring you much more positive results. They'll help you to think more positively, right? That's where everything starts, up here, right? All your habits happen up here. All your thoughts happen up here. All your behaviors, all your rituals, everything that goes on in your life starts off as a thought in your head. And if you've got people poisoning your mind with negativity, right, then eventually that negativity is going to start to infiltrate your thoughts. It's going to start to, bit by bit, burrow their way into your mind. And then you'll start thinking negatively, I mean, that's what they talk about. Negativity is part of communities, I've walked into, you know yourself, people, you go into families and you see whole families full of negative people, negativity. They're just negative. They just don't see anything positive in life, You see it in drinkers, you see this same kind of thinking in people who drink or take drugs. They tend to have a certain type of mentality. Even when you get positivity, they're still egging each other on to drink. They're still sort of pushing each other in that direction. So sometimes you just can't help having negative people. You might be in a situation where there are negative people and you can't help. You have to stay there and you have to put up with it. But as soon as you can, get away from that and surround yourself with positive environments, positive inputs wherever you can get them, whether that's from environments, from your thoughts, from the books that you're reading, from the audio books that you're listening to, from the movies that you're watching, to the people that you're around. Try and find as many positive influences and refuel that positive frame of mind as soon as you can. And just remember that everything is possible. Anything is possible, right? Quitting drinking is possible. Going for the goals that you want in life is possible. When I first stopped drinking, right, we were in a 4th floor apartment, right? We were overlooking somewhere nice, right? But we were in a 4th floor apartment. And before I'd come over to Ireland, I'd worked for a long time to try and build a business so that we could fund that business. But because of my drinking, because it made me lazy and because I just wanted to do the same, it sort of made me focus just really narrowly on something. That almost went to pot before we came over here. It just collapsed. And I went from earning over a grand a month, which would have been fine over here, to earning less than 200 a month. And luckily I had a bit more money put aside so that I could do something else. And it took me a while to do that. But it was that negative thinking, drinking, and the narrowness of that focus that brought me where I was. And stopping the drinking has brought me to where I am now, And I don't care about anything that's here. I mean, I could move somewhere else tomorrow and I could start again tomorrow. If I lost everything tomorrow, whatever. I know that I could find it again because my mind is opened up. My mind is not narrowly focused anymore on that one thing. My mind is not just ruined by alcohol anymore, And that's another point, is that, once you do quit alcohol, it takes time, but your mind recovers, your brain recovers, your body recovers, your life recovers. If you put in the work, if you make that commitment and you say, well, no matter what happens, no matter what failures I have, I'm still going to have the persistence to go back to that commitment and carry on with the commitment, right? If you do that, then you will get everything that you desire in this life. Everything there is possible. And if people are there trying to put an obstacle in your way, if people are persistently trying to put obstacles in your way, get rid of them, right? The quote at the beginning of this was, a person who says it can't be done shouldn't interrupt somebody who is doing it, right? And those people who are trying to fill you with negative thoughts, they're right. They're absolutely right in their own conviction that they cannot do it, right? They cannot do it, and they will never do it because of the way they think. But you can. You can do it. You are doing it. So just get on with it. Keep doing it. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep pushing down that negativity, pushing away the alcohol, pushing away the negative influences in your life, and pushing yourself towards the positive focuses, right? Pushing yourself towards the positive things, and it will come, Your brain will get better, your body will get better, you will get better, your life will get better. So this was a really rambly video in more ways than one. I'll stop it there, and if you have any questions at all, leave them down below. If you want to sign up to the Alcohol Mastery Starter Pack, which has got 3 different courses, 3 different books, and a couple of other bits and pieces, you can go over to the website, and it's on the main page there, alcoholmastery.com. Just put your name and email address and I'll send you out the stuff straight away. If you want to help us out on Patreon, become a patron of the show, you can do so by going over to patreon.com/alcohol mastery, and you can sign up as a patron for as much or as little as you want. Like I say, if you have any questions, any suggestions for videos, leave me a comment or send me an email to kevin@alcoholmastery.com. Until next time, my name's Kevin O'Hara for alcoholmastery.com. Take care of yourself, keep the alcohol out of your mouth, stay positive, onwards and upwards. Take care, bye now.